hard work. Me and Mike did struggle in some of the conditions. Finally paid off. £26.8. Proper orange colour.
Right, it's 3:15, Monday still. Rods have been in since a little bit before 12, so I've left the area free of lines. I've been out in the boat as soon as I brought the rods in, and I baited up the areas that I'm fishing on. Not a mega mix, a few scoops, or say a few scoops, 4, 5, 6 scoops on each area. And like it's been about 3 hours, a little over 3 hours or whatever. Just letting it settle and letting the fish have a free munch. I've got the rods all wrapped, they're all ready to go, and rigs are done. So I'm going to show you what rigs I'm using, or what's going out. So very simple rigs apart from maybe this one. That is a Snowman, so you've got a VNF pop-up, we've got a KSC bottom bait underneath that, we've got the Deception size 6 I believe that is, and that's a SWG, a little bit of shrink tubing, a little bit of strip back there on the Fox semi-stiffed camera text. Doing quite long rigs, and that's on a little micro swivel, and that should sit hovering just nicely above. Oh, zoom out, zoom out. That should sit nicely just above the hook. So that's going out. Second one there, standard knotless knot. Again, fairly longish hair, not long, not like that one, but KSC bottom bait. It's a curve size 6, Deception angling. That one's on the tungsten loaded ESP, and that's the rig that I caught the 45.5 on. And the third rig, again, exactly the same rig as before. That's well, as that second rig. Knotless knot, size 6 curve, and that's one of the hard hookers KSC from Excel. All the baits from Excel, and that, as you can see, has got a coating on it. That is the Fox semi-stiffed again. You may notice on these baits, it's just been sitting in my soft part of my stick mix, just to coat them and take some, obviously when I tested this one to make sure it sat nice, it was wet, and I just stick it in my stick mix and let it get all that sort of goodness sticking to the bait. That one, as I said before, has been glugging, but also has had some crushed hemp on it, some salt, some little bits and bobs going there, just sort of pimps it up a little bit. So yeah, simple rigs, there's what's going out. I'm about to sort them out now. I think the water's had enough of a rest. No fish been moving. Not seen anything really. The wind is right up. It's quite warm, but the wind is really blowing. So westerly across the lake. So the two that I plan to put over the long chucks to the far corner, which are going to be the Snowman and this hard hooker. I would cast them. They're 22.5 wraps, but with this wind it's going to be a nightmare. So what I'm thinking I'll do is I'll borrow the boat that they've got down there, and nothing in the boat apart from the rigs. Maybe it'll be a little stick on one, maybe not on this one, but we'll see. And they're clipped up, so I'll just drive the boat out there till I hit the clip and then drop it from the boat. The middle rig is going back over where I caught from and where I baited up, which is there. So just over there, and bushes kind of close to swim 6 that's there, but more just to the right of it. Nice hard gravel spot there if you get it just right. About 12.5 wraps, not a mega cast, but again, like I say, that's all had bait round it. There's no point in changing something that worked and had you a fish, so we're going to go back to doing the same. So yeah, like I say, the other two are right over the back here. One's towards the corner, one is towards the yellow, but to the right of it. As you can see, the water's moving quite a bit. So yeah, that's the plans I'm about to sort out. But also, you may see on the status, we've got a visitor. We've got a visitor down the lake. Mr. V has turned up, hobbling along on his busted leg and with a crutch. Yeah, it's nice to see him down here. He's down for a few days, I believe. He's going to stay in the guest house and that. So I'm sure you'll be seeing a bit more of him in some of the videos, or some of the parts. And in fact, once I'm sorted out and got bits done, I'll go back up there and we'll capture him on video. But right now, it's definitely time to get the rods back out, see if we can sneak another fish.
Oh, go away. Hello.
What are you doing here anyway?
I got lost.
I got on the bus and I just ended up here. Didn't know where I was.
The bus in Kings Lynn, and look where I ended up.
They're not bad buses, are they, really? The magic bus.
Waterproof.
Oh yeah. Oops. Oops.
Scatty oops.
Beans.
Scatty oops.
About the beans.
Bleep!
Edit one.
Hold on. Oh, I knocked it off!
Oh!
You belly!
That's not how you do.
7:15 Tuesday morning.
We're all knackered.
We're all mangled. So I had one at 10 to 5 and it's now 7:15. I got back to sleep about 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago, and Matt kindly come and woke me up, the twat. Because Weston has a fishy. Yeah, little fishy. And I would like to say I'm taking at least 20% of this fish, as I put his real handle straight, tart style, and that's made him catch, obviously, because if you don't have them straight, you don't catch. You have to lift it up. Hold on.
I'll just have a fag.
The lens is all steamed up. Stay there.
I'll be there, Roy. She's being a baby for you. There you go.
Towel up, Roy, please. Can't see you, but it's all right.
Roy.
Stay there, Matt, don't move.
Good?
Well done.
Yeah?
You're good lads. The sub's done well. After discussions and debate, because he should have zeroed it with the sling. £30 12 ounces for Mr. Lawler, who is now on the board.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Matty's had 2. I've had 2. There's no cash up about it. Everyone's cool. Don't give a crap anymore. Everyone happy. And when Andy comes down, we're going to turn him blanked again. Tea time.
Juice, juice.
Choo choo. Tuesday morning, glorious. The thunderstorm has cleared and it is beautiful.
Morning, Billy boy. Morning, world.
You look really impressed with the camera, Billy. Yeah, morning now, go away. Go away.
Normally got numbers underneath me.
Yeah. So, yeah. Beautiful Tuesday morning.
Morning.
Alloy City.
Alloy Avenue.
Well, 2 fish today already, isn't it? So I will sort them out right now. Boy, why did you catch? Why did you catch? Because your reel handles were straight. You don't catch unless they're straight. No, look, listen, they obviously did. Yeah. 20 to 6, Tuesday. Just to be sub. Dinner is served. Chippies, beans. Burger. Not just any burger. Oh, it looks like it's mushroom, but mango burger.
Salad, hang on, look at salad.
No,
salad.
ignore the salad. We don't do
salad.
vegetables. It's not happening.
Vegetables?
Yeah, dinner time. Been quiet today, apart from this morning. There is plans in progress. Swim 7. I'll explain more later. Past 8, tactical change. I've put my brolly up on swim 7, which you would have seen from over in the between swims 2 and 3 when we had dinner. My main biv is still in swim 4, which is where I'm based, if you like. And the thinking of this is that if I fish from this bank pretty much onto the same spots that I have been fishing, the line, there's a lot less line out and I'm not cutting myself off. The fish have been moving along the far bank, but they have been coming down this side as well, and I just feel that with the lines going straight all the way across the lake, I'm kind of just stopping the fish from being able to move about onto areas that I've put bait in or that I want them to move into. So I've got the 3 rods spread out along this bank. There's one to my left into swim 6, which is a few yards to the left. Got one right next to me, and then there's one a little further up, which is going into the far corner, which would have been the far corner from swim 4. The 2 nearest to me, 6 and the one next to me, they are literally underarm flicks underneath the bushes, not underneath them, just to the side of them. And there's been a bit of bait going there, a bit of mix. So again, the maize, some pellets, some broken boilies, some crushed hemp. That's gone out, a few scoops that went out earlier before I got sorted out completely. And then the one up the far top, which like I say is right up against the far bank, where there's been quite a lot of fish jumping and showing. That's a little cast, but I'm talking minimal, and that's right under the trees where there's a gap. They're all out, they're all sorted. Left one is a single bottom bait with KSC on it. This one right next to me is a double bottom bait, KSC and the VNF. And then the far one, which is right under the trees on the far bank, is just a single Ronnie rig with a, it's a KSC straightforward red pop-up. Now I'm thinking behind that, and I haven't put no bait on that one up in the corner, apart from walking around and literally dropping a few boilies in around it. My thinking with that is, when I walked around earlier, and the same with last year, I showed it on the video, when I walked around earlier I had a little check, and again there's tadpoles right up against the far bank, sitting in amongst the roots and stuff. Now the fish are jumping on that same spot, and they're coming clean out of the water, so either they're coming up clearing their gills, whatever, or they're coming up and chasing some of the tadpoles. Now again, my thinking to that is, if I put a few baits in and around that area, if they're coming up to feed or chase the tadpoles, I'm hoping they're following that line along the far bank before they get to the tadpoles. So if I've got a bait waiting for them, that might entice one of them to have a little nibble. It's quite deep where I've got it. When I say I'm not right under the trees, but there's a nice little gap there, and I'm really close. I'm no further than probably 3 foot off the bank, and it's quite a little drop, and you get a nice solid donk as well. You've got the outlet pipe there as well, so I think all that adding up, and with the fact now that my line, there's not as much line going all the way across the lake, along with my other rod that was inside that, cutting off the fish's route, that may change everything, I'm hoping. Of course I've had 2 fish already, but this was from down in this side again. Nothing from up the top here where there have been fish moving and jumping. They've been bubbling under the trees or by the trees where I've put baits, or I put my hook bait, but again I've had to either really cast them or I've boated them out there, and it's on a real long line. So now I'm literally underarm cast, a couple of back leads right in close, dropping the line down really slack, keeping it all pinned to the bottom, and again the fish can come towards the baits without having any line to spook off or scare them. That's the thinking, that's the plan, that's what I'm doing. So 8:30 now, Tuesday, and I think it's the right way to go. I've got a few bits around here, obviously the bank sticks, and I've got 3 nets for every rod, just to make sure I'm safe and covered. There's a large mat next to me, or cradle if you like, and a sling. But I'm currently sitting on the floor on my Crusader towel, because I haven't got my chair yet. Steve is obviously sitting over with the lads, and what with his leg, my chair comes quite high off the floor, so I've left that with him, and I'm quite happy just sitting on the floor looking across the lake, and I can see the whole lake from here, everything. It's not cold, weather's nice, it's not meant to get cold tonight either. I am planning actually at some point to get my chair once Steve has decided to go, or when I feel that I really need it. And I think I'm just going to be laying back on my chair, and I'm going to sit the night here. If I fall asleep on the chair, so be it. If it gets really bad, then I will have to, I guess, go and get my bed, but I don't plan on doing that at all. If I continue to fish here tomorrow, then grabbing the bed at some point will probably be what I'll do. So yeah, sitting under the brolly, I've got my rig station to my side, I've got a couple of drinks with me, and a few little bits and bobs. I've got my coat, got the camera, got the video camera. and I'm going to see how we go. I kind of done it at the wrong time, which sort of, I started doing it about 7, half 7, which really is kind of bite time. But I oohed and ahed about doing this. I waited to get an extra net because I didn't want to be, you know, playing a fish and not having a net near me, which is hard when they're spread out. So I prepared well before I put this plan into action. Because like I say, the last thing I want to do is hook a nice one or whatever, and you know, not be able to land it or safely deal with it. So yeah, 3 rods, 3 nets, lots of hope, fingers crossed. Very antisocial, unfortunately, but I've come here a few years now and not really fished how I fish and got on it and tried and thought about my fishing seriously. It is a holiday, yes, but this year I wanted to at least do some videoing, but I really wanted to put a bit more effort in. That's why there's been bits of filming, but I've been constantly watching the water. I know where they're moving. I've been watching them bubble. I've been walking around the lake, seeing them moving about, seeing where they're jumping. And they're this side, they're in my areas. And I just think this little change of angle with the lines and not having so much out and being able to keep them real slack, it may sort of lure them in a bit more without being spooky about anything. So yeah, and it is nice to actually sit this side and look across the whole lake, see the house in the background and see the boys over there all chatting away and that. Just looking at all the colours in the sky, it's lovely. Listening to that cuckoo. I don't know if you pick it up on here, but yeah, proper little bit of paradise here. Did try and get some pictures of the kingfisher earlier, but damn, them things are fast. Really fast. As you know, I'm sure, but yeah, that's the situation. Not much more I can say. Like I've told you what they are, what baits are on, all XL baits of course, and pretty much standard rigs. You've got the running rig on one, and standard bottom baits, standard bottom bait rig, knotless knot, one with a slightly longer hair which takes 2 bottom baits. Of course, deception hooks, both fish nailed, seriously nailed. I've said it many times before, you can't go wrong with them, love them. When I use the bottom bait standard rig, I use the curve shank. I don't know, it just suits, I like it, and I always get good hook holds with it. For the Ronnie rig, I use the SWG, which is pretty much the same sort of pattern as a Nash Twister. In fact, I think it is exactly the same pattern, the same shape. And I like that for the Ronnie rig. I like the squareness of it and being able to place your hook bead just along the sort of flattened part of it before the bend, and that to me seems to sit the hook in a nice way under the bait. Any carp viewing that from above can't see the hook, but it's primed and ready, pin sharp obviously. So yeah, 2 spots have had a bit of bait, and they've got standard bottom baits on. One up in the corner where it's under the trees, Ronnie rig, and just probably 15 baits, maybe a couple more of each, of some of the KSC and some of the VNF. Just flicked around the area. I didn't want to go too mad there because I know they're visiting there. I know they're going in and out there. So I'm not going to spook them off with a big bed of bait. I feel hopeful. See how we go. 10:15 Wednesday morning. Last night's little tactical, or say last night, last evening, little tactical move didn't quite work, but it's been, I've had no sleep pretty much. I've got a serious headache. I've had plenty of liners, so the fish are here, the fish are in the areas, but I'm either too far out and they're coming in and hitting the lines. Right, well, just had exactly the same again. The end rod that's going into the corner. It was liners all night. Then I had a real vicious liner, which I walked down and I struck into, and there was nothing there. So last night, because I'm fishing right into a small little cutout in the trees, to be safe I didn't want to try and put it back in there. So I sorted the rod out and just flicked it into the corner, in and around the area. Just sort of open water if you like. And I'm still getting the odd liners off it, but nothing's happened. Now I've just redone that rod. Not really the time to be doing it, but I've had fish bosh on and around where I'm fishing to, and I couldn't leave it there no longer, so I pulled it in, just quickly renewed the pop-up on it, cast it straight into the hole where I want it, and I'm back-leaded, and it's just gone again. And the line's lifted up right tight again, but it is literally, it's just a liner, but it looks like the back lead's moved. The angle of the line going into the water from the rod tip, to me it looks like it's moved. So either I'm casting over the top of the fish and they're coming right in close to this bank, or they just want to try and eat the back lead. I don't know what's going on. I've got to figure it out, but they're obviously travelling through my line. So I've just loosened it off for now, and I'll leave it for a bit longer, see what goes on. But if I keep getting that, it might mean I might just literally drop a bait in inches from the bank and see what that does. But yeah, it's been all night pretty much. 1 o'clock, I was planning to sleep on my chair last night. Got to 1 o'clock and I just wanted to lay down. Like I say, up and down, without running too much, because all the rods are quite close. So I went and got my bed chair. And yeah, it was nice to lay down, but I was getting in and out like a bloody yo-yo. So I'm all over the place this morning, I must admit. I've been up a little while. It's just I've got a bit of an headache. It is cold this side. They call it the fridge, I think, because basically not a single bit of sun gets on it. It looks absolutely blinding out there, as you can see from the weather. It looks lovely. But where I am, the sun doesn't get here, it's just all shade. And I've actually got my coat on at the minute, so should tell you something when you look at that, and I'm cold. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, sleepless night, headache. I feel that I'm closer to the fish here though. The middle rod's had no touches, nor's the left rod. No bleeps, nothing. So they're up in that corner, or the movement's in that corner, so I may go down to 2 rods, I think. I'll cut one of these rods out. And I may move the angle of my left rod. Now I'm thinking about it and looking at it, it's really not the right angle to be having the rod, I don't think. So I'll sort that out. But yeah, the boys and that are awake over there. Oh. So they're chatting away. What have you. Been up a little while. Yeah. Thinking cap on and try and suss this out. I want another couple of fish if I can. 6. I'm running late for dinner. Moved back to swim 4. Just sorted the rods out. I've had a shower, sort out, and I need to eat my dinner.
Just get it eaten because it'll get cold, mate.
Ooh, right, food.
Cookie in his magic sock.
Bang it on a wanger!
Self-laughing.
Oh man. Bang on a wanger. Have you sent you the picture?
Yeah, he sent me the picture of it. That's a shout out to Cookie and his magic sock.
Put a massive shout out to Ray Smears.
Yeah. Someone do that one.
I can't.
Bang it on the wanger!
Bang on the wanger! Cookie and his magic sock.
Bang it on the wanger! Bang it on the wanger! Oh mate. I'll let you go, mate, if you're feeding the baby. Speak to you in a bit, see you later. Ta, mate. He's fucking pissing off. He's shit then before he fucked off.
Listen. Go on, say it. Oh, he's fucking gone past it.
He does that sometimes, doesn't he?
What did you get? What did you put? Say it again. Let's do it again.
He's fucking pissing, crying, laughing.
Hey, he's just done it, he just said it. Smashing it with Ray Smear's dogging crew.
He won't be laughing at that one. Hey! What's going on here, mate? What's going on? Why haven't you fixed it? Apparently that's what I'm not catching.
Bagging.
Well, when we put your handles straight, what happened?
I caught.
So your handles are straight, but now we have one eye behind the alarms and all the rest in front. So what's going to happen?
Well, I'm not going to catch on this one.
That's correct.
But I might catch on this one.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Ah, but only if you've got the A2.
Yeah, just get them out there.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how to put them boilies out. I don't know whether you put them out like that or whether you put them out like that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Definitely edited.
Banger on the wanger. Ray Smear's dogging crew.
He was feeding the baby and he was crying. You just...
So Jimmy, if you were breastfeeding. Oh right, with the bottle.
I was going to say, yeah.
Right. Reloading, sir.
Magic boilie dispenser.
o'clock in the morning, Thursday, and it's a glorious morning after a very quiet night. No beeps, no liners, no touches. The same for the boys down the other end. It's just, there's nothing, no beeps, nothing. We're all kind of wondering what we have to do to entice one of these carp to just have something to eat. Yes, there's lots of tadpoles again, and are they eating that, sticking to that? I don't know, but I just can't figure it out. We're trying all sorts. Beautiful out there, really is. So as much as we're not catching, to wake up to this is just bliss. But we need some fish. Thinking today there'll be a little change again, maybe on where I'm fishing spot wise, as I'm not fishing right over the back. I'm fishing a good few rod lengths back from it on a path that I think that they're cutting that corner over the back, and I'm trying to let them move about in there without putting lines across it and stopping them from coming round. But that may have to change. I may have to go deeper into the back bank, and I'm thinking again I may have to employ going onto the maize and using just maize as a hook bait. I'm just thinking that's a more of a, I see it every day more or less, or you know, I know a lot of people use boilies, but a lot of people will use the maize and stuff to, oh, I don't know if I caught that. They will use the maize in mixes and stuff. So I'm just wondering if getting on the maize they might feel more comfortable eating that, less shy of it. 3 big lumps or something, nice and simple again, and see if that's something that will catch them out and they're avoiding maybe the boilies, sticking to what they know, the natural food and maize. Maybe that's the way to go. I'm not sure what else I can really do. I've tried moving the lines at a different angle. Yes, that got me liners, so I know they were in the area, but no solid runs. I've come back here fishing at an angle where I've caught 2 fish, fishing the area that I've had both the fish from, with the same bait in the same style. But yeah, we're all racking our brains. Thursday's normally the good day to have a few fish as well, you find, if you go to France, or if you listen to the stories after the changeover of people on a Saturday and all that. It normally takes a few days for it to calm down and the fish to settle. But yeah, there's not even no real bubbling going on out there at the moment. There's nothing. The odd fish jumping, but head and shoulders. I may have just caught that one on the video, but yeah, otherwise it's been tough going since the fish we have had. But it's not just me, the boys up the other end, not a single bleep last night. They said they've seen a little bit of bubbling this morning, but nothing, you know, to say that they've really got their heads down. And the weather's not bad. The weather's, you know, it's lovely now. It's not majorly hot. It's not majorly cold at night. I know before we came they had the hailstones, and it was bitter. There was a few nights when we were first here. It was cold, but that's kind of evening itself out. The pressure's coming down slightly. We know next week the pressure's right down nice. But yeah, as everyone will do, you start to wonder, what am I doing? Well, not wrong, but what can I do to change to entice them to have something to eat, or to get their heads down. I know the rigs are good, the bait's good, the area I'm in, I've seen fish coming out there as far as head and shoulders and the odd splash and the odd bubbling. There's got to be something that will make them tip down and take the hook. But yeah, glorious morning, glorious. Really good night's sleep as well, which is not really what you want, but battle on. It's Thursday morning. There's a couple more days to go, a couple more evenings to go. We shall keep on trying.
another one. It will look huge next to it. I mean the baby.
It's big.
Where's Bill? Where's Bill?
Making my tea.
Making your tea?
You definitely don't know me, do you?
You'll be lucky. Bill doesn't make tea.
Actually, in his defence, he's made more this week than I've ever known him. I think he's just showing off because you two are here.
Do you know the good bit about that? Is that it's actually recording, therefore I've got you on record. Happy days.
You have that, right?
You can say what you like now.
I've only had one cup.
Bill?
My tea.
Your tea.
And it was the best cup of them all.
Till my daughter took it and drank it.
Yeah, well that's your problem, yeah?
Towel. Oh, you don't want to touch that, it's dirty. Okay.
That's why she's putting it on your face. Smother the scouser.
Thanks for that. You're going to go now, aren't you? Peekaboo.
You got that recording, yeah?
I have indeed. Thursday afternoon. Mr. Baggins decides to go and get himself a run.
You know what as well, mate? What did I say to you?
Yeah, it's that change, innit?
Not that. What else? That lead.
It's not, is it? The magic lead. Whee! Mr. Roy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mum.
So why it says the prices of hoodies are going to go up if they bring them up. Steve thinks it's a part of the
Oh, I hope so, Sean. I so hope so.
Which?
I'm not saying.
Jesus.
Any ideas?
Which one, Bill? Right under the far bank?
spot that I fed up the other day. 27.
Yeah.
He said, can you hurry up? Just said something and he's about to do it. I can't bully him, mate.
Do I get
I'll be honest with you, Steve. I do think this one was in my order yesterday.
do I get 30% of this one because I put it out with you with the boat?
I only 50% was in my water. Oh yeah, and 5 and 6 and 7. No change yet.
Oh,
Gone.
no way.
So 10 to 5 Thursday, and as you may have seen, after a couple of days of no action and no movement on the lake, you know, as far as fish moving or bubbling or anything, I had a change up today and I put 2 rods on maize, which what saved me last year. One's gone right over the far bank and one's gone to the side under a tree. And yeah, sitting with the boys and I've had a take. And I knew as soon as I picked it up something wasn't fully right. But after playing it for a little while, I thought it was okay. I thought, you know, I was still being quite tentative with it. I wasn't bullying it. I was just, you know, I felt a little uneasy about it, but the way it was fighting and it felt like a good fish, as they all do. And I thought, well, maybe it was just me to start with, felt it didn't feel right, and it was all good. But yeah, seems the rig's pulled out or dropped off, or I don't know, I can't explain it. Hook's sharp as anything. The rig's gone back out. There's nothing wrong with the rig. The hook is pin sharp still. So I'm a little dejected right now. But I've redone the rod. The rod's gone straight back out. Same spot, same maize to be fair. Put a little bit of a few scoops of maize back on top of it. It's right where all the tadpoles are as well. And yeah, I'm gutted, but at the same time, I think when I picked it up and felt it was a bit not right, I kind of expected that to happen. But like I say, over the time of playing it, them fears kind of removed themselves, and I felt okay about it. And then to lose it, yeah, gutted. But I guess not as gutted as if it had been a straightforward hit. Struck into it, felt good, played it, I would have been more gutted. Yeah, it's just a shame after a few days of nothing happening. It would have been nice to see a fish on the bank. I'm not really bothered if it's me or if it's one of the other boys. Just be nice to see a fish on the bank. So, pick myself up, dust myself off. Rod's back out, same spot, and we go again. It's encouraging, that's the main thing, it's encouraging that there is a fish or two that's willing to eat. The reason I went to the maize is just that the boilies are not kind of they started off doing it, and then I just thought with the tadpoles and that, maybe, as of last year, maybe going to something that they naturally get as far as being fed in the lake and that other people can buy but maybe don't fish with. I thought that might be the idea, was just to try and trip them up on something they weren't expecting to be on a hair. Obviously worked, but sort of half worked. I don't know, maybe I fair looked it, maybe it was not hooked correctly somehow. I don't know, but it obviously it was enough to get a bite as such. So yeah, not much more I can say really. Yeah, try again. Ham, egg and chips. Alright, and beans.
Beans, spaghetti.
Oops.
Gobby oops.
Matt's tea. Beer for Matt. I don't know what time it is.
It's 26.
Alright, 20 to 6. So a little loss. Everyone's been at it since then. Sorting a few bits out. Food's here now. We're gonna sit down, chill. I'm gonna wipe my eyes from the tears and have something to eat. Dinner.
Dinner.
Winner, winner.
Winner, winner.
Chicken dinner.
Big dinner.
Oh. Come on.
Don't like that.
You could have had one and we could have had it.
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't have had anything.
Well,
That's not our problem, is
it's
it?
not, is it? That's
No.
selfishness, isn't it?
Selfishness.
This is
Not-
teamwork here.
Yeah.
Did you give us a fish? No, you went down there, tried to land it on your own.
Oh, hey.
Tried.
I'm going to punch you right in the head. I'm not going to swear, I'm just going to beat you. Right, I'm turning this off now so we can get violent.
Yeah.
9:15 Friday morning. Last full day and night. Bleeps, liners, all a few bits last night. But the weather's really changed. We knew this was coming. But yeah, it's bit of a storm coming. Wind is going to be really having it, and it's already pretty cold out there. The pressure drop's good. It's dropping all for next week, so the boys coming on after us may be okay, like should be alright. But I know we've got severe rain tonight, and during when we pack up, so we're going to try and do a lot of that tonight, get packed up. We was full of hopefulness last night. The fish started moving about a little bit. We were seeing some shows, some bubbling, but nothing's happened. It's not worked out. Like I say, a few liners. I know the boys down the other end have had a few liners, a few bleeps here and there, but nothing. But today and tonight, we'll give it our best. But that wind is not very nice. It is cold. The brolly, I am still considering going over there for today and tonight, but I'm thinking maybe the other option is to grab the brolly and bring it over here and swap it around for the bivvy. I want to get the bivvy packed up and away. I want to get as much stuff packed away today and in the van as possible, because the rain that's coming is quite a bit, so I want to try to have minimal kit out, so when we pack up tomorrow it's least bits as wet as possible. Yeah, that's the update. Quiet still. Weed and a half picked the weeks, I tell you. 3 years in a row now the weeks have been a bit like this. Weeks before we turn up, pretty good. The weeks after, pretty good. Whenever we're here, so-so. It's just our blinking timing, never works out quite right. Lake's always got the ump with us. Well, it must just be me or something, I don't know. Yeah. Right. I need to properly wake up and get out of my bed. Bit of a late one this morning. I was up doing a few long exposures last night till about 1:30, 2 o'clock. And although I've been up a bit, watching the rods, trying to watch the water a little bit, it is freezing out there. And like I say, it's windy as hell. But I am going to get up and start sorting myself out. Come on, carp gods.